All right, welcome to episode number 66 of My FX Buddies, the podcast. All right, and I say podcast because there is a blog, which is myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, or you could try myfxbuddies.com, but you have to use the HTTPS as in Sam. There's a transcript at rss.com because I do know sometimes it's hard to understand what I'm saying, and I do try my best to speak as loudly and clearly as possible. All right, and what else? Video content, rumble.com, my FX buddies, Spotify.com has video content, I believe, if you are a paying subscriber. That's everything, right? Oh, YouTube. If you're watching this, well, think you're watching this on YouTube. You're actually listening. And if you would like to see the video, look below what appears to be the video and you'll see the word more. And click on the word more. And then a link will be there where you can click the link and you will be taken to the blog. Also, anywhere you are enjoying this content, if you look in the more or description or info box, there should be a link directly to this blog post, which I know if you're looking at this, it says Friday, June 7th. However, I'm really doing this on Saturday, June 8th. Oh, you can see that. You should be able to see that, right? Anyway, okay, yeah, so that's it. So let's get into it. Okay, there's really nothing going on. So, of course, there's a lot of internal stuff for Iraq, right? But that's partly why I'm having some technical difficulties again with my computer, but it's good right now, so that's why I'm doing this now. But also, like I always say, I don't like wasting time, your time or mine, and there hasn't really been anything. Oh, there's one thing that's exciting in my opinion that I'll be showing you. Okay, so where we last left off was we were waiting for the budget schedules to appear in the Iraqi Facts, which is also called the Gazette, which is their national legal paper. All the laws that are published and amendments to laws, they're published in the Gazette as the last step before they go official. Because sometimes they can say, okay, we approve this today and it's now in effect. And the president can go, okay, I've signed this and now it's in effect. But for it to be officially official, it has to be posted in the Gazette. Yes, the Gazette primarily posts Wednesday and Saturday, but at any time they can do a special edition, and it will even say special edition, and it possibly will be a different color. They have an official document that they use, and the special editions can sometimes be a different color. All right, what else? Let's see. That was about the Gazette. So I've looked. So far, it's not there this morning, but it's early. Okay, so I'm fairly certain I will post again tomorrow. There's articles out already today that I'm not going to talk about because I try to keep these posts to 30 minutes. And already what we're going to talk about is going to fill those 30 minutes. So Sunday, I will do another post for just whatever. Okay, let's see. So now what has happened? So here it looked really official. They totally intended for this. Here's the guy who signs off to send this to the Ministry of Justice which is where the Gazette is, see, signing the Parliament's decision letter approving the budget schedules and sending them to the Ministry of Justice / Iraqi and Financial Facts. And there's the signature of that guy and the official stamp, and it didn't make it. But why didn't it make it? So here's another little thing. Nearly 80 trillion dinars disappear from 2020 and 2023 budget, and the deputy who's saying this, no one knows where it went. So clearly these are older articles, and I know some of you who listen to me, you listen to the other people too. So if you want to see this, all of these articles that I'm covering are at the blog for free. You don't have to join anything. You don't have to pay anything. They're there. And I have the link there. So if you're one of those ones that's a stickler for actually seeing the actual post yourself, which is me, I am that way. That's how I got into looking up articles myself. Maybe 8 years or more ago. All right. So, and to me, it doesn't matter. They know there was corruption. No, they don't have to find that money before they change the rate, in my opinion. But also, I don't think there's anything in the Constitution that says you can't pass certain laws because money's missing either. And that's what they go off of. They go off of their Constitution. All right, let's see. What is this? Investment opportunities offered to international companies. Okay, so Sadani met again with Stephen Hutchings. I believe that is who that is. Yes. Stephen Hutchings. They type it different ways. He is the ambassador, Iraqi ambassador to the United Kingdom. And all good stuff. Iraq has many investment opportunities presented to international companies, welcoming the participation of British institutions and companies in various sectors, especially the sectors of energy, industry, agriculture, and other vital sectors. And then you see here, they wrap it up with the Western countries should do more to end the destabilization of security caused by the aggression in Gaza, put a letter in front of AZA, and the threat of the spread of the conflict. See, that's the word that I think is acceptable to social media, is conflict. And Sudani wants international powers and global organizations to assume their responsibilities in stopping the wiping out of a lot of people. That's a word that starts with a G. Against the people of Pizza Land, right? Okay. All right, here the central bank explains the fiscal control mechanism contained in the budget. So I've read this a few times. It doesn't seem there's anything specific here. The general concept of the term financial control mentioned in the federal budget among public finance specialists is the attempt of the government and the executive authorities to adhere to balance in order to exceed the deficit rate in future budgets and not reduce it to the deficit in the current budget. To me, that sounds like wah, 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 wah. But whatever, I think this is important. Whatever this article is saying, I do think it's important. I just get a feeling. Well, and usually anytime something comes from the board of directors, from the CBI, it is, they don't just put out articles just to be putting them out. It's usually for a reason. Let's see. An economist confirms the possibility of Iraq entering the field of investment in oil derivatives. My favorite name to say, Safwan Quase. He is the economic expert, just an economic expert. But is this the one? There's a couple of articles that just have key sentences. And so it's learning how to store. They burn gas. Apparently, Iraq wastes a lot of oil and gas because they don't have the most modern and most efficient ways of capturing the burning gas. Well, they burn the gas, rather, I should say. And oil, I'm fairly certain there's still smuggling going on, oil smuggling going on. And yeah, it's a whole country that's just full of oil. And they do have cameras, more and more they have cameras everywhere, but it's not everywhere. And can't watch everything all the time. Okay, and it just seems in this world, people are just more corrupt and more corrupt. Anyway, announcing the establishment of the Iraqi French Business Council. Okay, we don't need to talk about that. It's just yet another commerce company coming together. Sorry, committee, whatever, right? Coming together. So that's there if you want to read that. They're heading into another holiday. It's a 4-day holiday. However, they don't go back to work until June 23rd. So the holiday is Eid al-Adha. It starts on the 16th, which will really be Saturday night, the 15th, because days for them start at sundown, right? So, but they go back to work on the 23rd. It is my hope, they will have the budget schedules in the Gazette before they go on this holiday, but they may not. Let's see if we can get into financial inclusion in Iraq, a success story that defies the odds. So this is pretty good. It's just a little brief history, but it's mainly, see this here, company for deposit insurance. There is a company, Iraqi Deposit Insurance Company, and it's been around. Here, they say it's been established since 2008, but the citizens have a lack of confidence in the banking system, so they're definitely not going to believe in that, right? Okay, but so they just, every now and then, they put articles out to remind the citizens, we do have this. Let's see, we can skip that. If you want to read that, that's there. Oh, here, but sorry, no. This is one. So this is a smaller article. Parliamentary finance, all revenues are not enough to meet the country's needs, and the budget prohibited appointment in any capacity. That's words, right? But here they are saying we have an extra $12 trillion that we can put in towards the deficit carried over from the food security law. If any of you remember that, I think that was 2 years ago, right? All right. Let's see. Here's more banking branches that have implemented the comprehensive banking system. So they have the details of where they are. And this paragraph right here is good to read, the last paragraph. The plan for digital transformation and adoption of comprehensive banking system, and how they plan to expand it. Let's see, what's this one? The budget schedules are flexible and include sacred paragraphs. Yeah. There's scarcity. Let's see. This isn't any of them. But again, this is something that's on the blog. You could read if you like. Okay, something they had to deal with. It says angry demonstrators storm an American company in Baghdad. So I had been touching on that. I don't think anyone else. I shouldn't say that because I don't watch anyone else. But how I gauge what other people, other Dinar land people are saying is by the questions I get. And some people will say, so and so said this and I don't understand it. Can you watch this part of their video and explain it to me? Or something like that, right? Oh, like for instance, right now, there's a video going around. Um, I'm not sure who made it. They did an excellent job, but it's a snippet. It's a snippet of when Sadani was here in April and he was interviewed at the Atlantic Council, and both of the interviewee and the interviewer and Sadani both spoke Arabic, and they had translators. So someone has taken like less than a minute snippet where Sadani said, yes, we do intend to increase the value of the dinar. And they're putting that out like he said that yesterday. He did not say that yet. Well, sorry. Possibly he said that yesterday because Frank has a video where Frank 26, where he's getting from Eddie, who's the guy who is actually in Iraq, that Sadani and Al-Alaq came out and spoke to the people, and they did again remind them, your dinar is going to be worth more than the dollar. Now, there's nothing so far of that in articles, and it doesn't surprise me when they do those types of information distribution, I'll say. When they share things like that intimately with the public, it's usually not in the articles. So it's that's why I wanted to be clear. It's it's possible, highly likely, whatever, that Sadani did again say they're going to change the value, but that snippet that's going around is from April of 2024 when Sadani was here in America. Okay, so so getting back to this, what's happening is they're attacking Kentucky Fried Chicken, and this, I see a star and it makes me think that is Hardee's. Okay, Hardee's. So there's been maybe up to 6 now, and you can read this article. They threw sound bombs at Caterpillar Heavy Equipment Agency. They did something to PG&E, or sorry, P&G, Procter and Gamble. But all of these attacks were happening at night when these businesses were closed. So they escalated and they went to one of the KFCs while it was open, but they didn't hurt any of the customers. And there's there's a video, and you can see customers are sitting outside, at the little portable tables, and then all of a sudden they get up and they run, and then you see a mob of maybe like 20. Well, I'm gonna say mob, but maybe like 20 people, and they turn the tables over, and they, who knows what else they did. So that was an elevation. So Alina Romanowski got into it and said, look, you not protecting our businesses is bad for investment, the look, and you need to do something about it. And so Sudani put their troops, right? I guess their law, what is this? We can skip this. All these words right here. Last Tuesday, they had their Council of Ministers meeting, which they have every Tuesday. And I always post the results from the meeting in case there's people who want to read this. But this one was kind of long, and I just glance over. There's certain words I look for, like exchange rate, certain currency, right? Hard currency. Look, I'm scrolling and it's still not okay. And it does have something about see right here, the federal budget law. So, but it's just, they're changing the amounts, right? Okay. So I thought I had the images of, we're at 20 minutes. they had all these images of the security people out in the streets. And they're out fully dressed with rifles, with extra ammunition wrapped around them. And then these Jeeps with the really big guns on top. And they're just parked randomly. So the attacks on the restaurants have calmed down, but look what he had to do, right, to do that. Well, I don't have the images here, but okay. So this is what I find very encouraging. So this was on June 5th. The UN identifies Iraq investment opportunities, and they are SDG, which is Sustainable Development Goals, which is Agenda 21. If you don't know about Agenda 21, you should learn about that. No matter where in the world you are, there's they called it agenda, not me, and which is now Agenda 2030, and they even have Agenda 2050. Okay, but anyway, so here are some of the sectors that you can invest in, and they did a 49-page report, which I already have open here, and it's in English. Look at that. It's in English and Arabic. So let me just show you. Here they have a guide. They have a guide isn't the right word, but whatever. R&D is for research and development. ROI, return on investment. So all these abbreviations that they use in this report, they have a thing that tells you what those are. It is, I've only gotten to page 12, and it is a bit challenging for me. It's not an easy read for me. I do have to read it over and over because if you don't know, I have reading comprehension issues. So I'm just letting you know the vocabulary in this is a little upper level than other things, but it's very interesting. And I don't think if they weren't ready to start actually soliciting investment, they wouldn't put this out. So that's why I'm encouraged. Have I seen something like this before? Not from these people, not for the green. This is pretty much the green agenda. So I like seeing this. It tells me that they've gone to the next phase where they're, telling the world. It's printed in English and Arabic. Did I tell you it's printed in English and Arabic? All right. Okay. So let's see here. So okay, this is the holdup for the printing of the Gazette. It's now, and it says Maliki, but this could be a different Maliki. It may not be it may not be Nori al-Maliki. There's someone that I'm almost positive that's related to him in Parliament. But someone challenged the budget schedules because they don't have all the numbers. They don't have final accountings and something else. But we know that. Remember a couple of blogs back, I showed you the article that openly said, we don't have all the numbers here. There's some other monies that we're going to be able to give you that are just not here in these schedules, right? So it's clear they're trying to do the best that they can and move everything forward and be as transparent as they can. But they can't put everything out because some people are so smart they can work the numbers backwards and then they'd be able to figure out the rate. They know the world is watching everything they do, looking for the rate, right? So, but the way that we know there is some interference for a fact, because I mostly saw this on social media, and I don't like to I don't like to print stuff from social media unless I see an article, right? Because people can make up anything on social media. But this guy right here, his name is Haider Abadi. He is a previous prime minister. He came out in this article. It says, Abadi warns the parties. The Iraqis read the erased, and Sudani told us everything. So what I think this cryptic little phrase right here is saying, we've seen the information that you want, the final accounts. We've seen them. Sudani has shown us everything. We just can't print it. So this is a scathing comment about the budget dispute. So he goes on. So it's this Maliki person, whichever one it is, the Communist Party of Iraq, and one other person. They all challenged the budget schedules, even though the federal court was like, no, we're not taking any cases about anyone commenting or challenging whatever the budget schedules. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Possibly the people who are doing this challenge, maybe they want to negotiate for something, more power, more positions, whatever, and maybe all of that's in the works and we just don't see it. But that's, we're waiting for the budget schedules to be in the Gazette. So he goes on to say, he calls these people narrow-minded. It's political, and you're doing it to embarrass Sadani. See here, there is a narrow-mindedness and an attempt to prey on the citizen in order to get his vote. So he does say some mean things, as mean as you can get, right, in writing. But yeah, so something's going on. Okay, I think this is one of the articles that has a good... Yes, so this article right here, an Iraqi economist criticizes the 2024 budget, operational par excellence. So Nabil Marsumi, that name may sound familiar to you, it may not. He's another economic expert. He criticizes this move of not putting the schedules in the Gazette, right? But look at what he says. There's no strategic tool that distributes oil revenues to the people and to the governance. Now, if you're new, you're like, so what does that mean? Why is that, why is she emphasizing that? All the citizens, all the way down to 12 years old, they are going to get a monthly income, I guess, stipend from the oil wealth. That was in writing. It used to be on the internet, but it's been taken down. In 2018, they were so close to doing the RV. They even put in articles where we could see there were 4 different funds, and I think that probably goes on different classes, which, unfortunately, they have a class society. But they even told them, hey, you're going to get another debit card. And on this debit card, it's just going to be your oil money. And the 12-year-olds, they would not get the money. It would go into a trust until they were legal age. Now, that may have changed. I'm not sure. And, like I said, they took it off the internet, so you can't find it in writing. But that is another thing that's going to happen, which is why if you read articles, you'll see them talk about a census. And they just did a trial census, but they're going to do the actual census in November. And I'm just going to leave that there for right now. So yeah, the budget is dependent on oil, and the extent of the backwardness is large in the sectors of industrial and production and operational services. The budget was not part of the development plan, as there is supposed to be a development plan in the country every 4 or 5 years. So see, remember what, 2 weeks ago, maybe even 3 weeks ago now, there was this big, huge ceremony, and they talked about the strategic development plan for lending for the next 5 years. They do plans in 5 years, right? So yeah, so I'm very happy to see them talking about distributing the revenues to the people. And also it says the governance as the financial allocations to the governance range between 7 to 20%. So I think that's key. Again, another indicator that they are moving close. Okay, we're almost done. We're at 31 minutes. We're almost done. Sadani renews the government's support for the work of the provincial councils. Is this the one that has corruption? Let's see. Well, you might want to read this. Yeah, this article has the word corruption or corrupt 14 times. So it's important. Sadani gave a speech at this. It was the first forum of government councils and offices and some other stuff. So it was a really long speech. They ran it on TV. They preempted the regular programming to run the speech, and then they even talked about it the next day. So whatever this is, it's significant. And also, I think what it is they're giving power back to the individual cities, governances, right? They call them governances. So it could be a big deal. It could indicate forward movement, right? So we'll see. Now this is something, all this week, there was a lot of articles about Iran. Monday, I think we covered that article here. Iran was praising Iraq and saying, oh, Iraq is the wealthiest nation in the region. It was just a total love fest, right? Then the president of Iraq said, oh, we have a great relationship with Iran, and we also have a good relationship with America. So all this stuff about Iran, they talked about their trade, how much trade they do with each other, and just, oh, so great, right? Listen to this. Prime Minister Sadani, advised by Iranian officials on election strategy. So clearly, it's evident now that Sadani is going to run for a second term. And if you read this article, and please do read this article, it's totally from Iran. They're suggesting he run again, and that he run under the Coordination Framework banner. And we know the Coordination Framework is backed by Iran. So the most powerful man in Iraq, the Prime Minister, is being told by Iranian sources, oh yeah, you're going to run again, and you're going to run under the Framework Coordination Group. That is a little spooky to me, but it just goes to show how closely intertwined they are, right? And of course, we know that whether we admit it or not, the CIA, FBI, all those people, they know. But anyway, so here's the last article that I have. It came out yesterday. In numbers, the decline in the value of the reserves of the Central Bank of Iraq, and it's the gold reserves. And it doesn't really say what they did with them. It just says they've been reduced. So that's interesting, right? And so this article came out here Friday, June 7th. So Iraq, if you're listening, I would like to know, why did it decrease? Because we know they're purchasing monthly gold, tons of gold, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But anyway, so what did they use that gold for? Did they give it away to, I don't know. It's mighty strange that they came out. They've been, in my opinion, they've been bragging all this time about how strong their reserves are. So here they're saying, oh, well, we reduced our gold reserves last month, but not saying why. And I'm hoping it has to do, they put it in a special category to back the new currency, right? That would be lovely. But, yeah. So, all right. So that's it. So it's 36 minutes. I apologize. I just, didn't have time and things weren't working out. So, but it looks like we got it done. And again, I already know I'll post tomorrow later in the day, though it won't be first thing in the morning unless the Gazette is, if it updates, I'm just checking. No, see, the last one they did was June 3rd. All right. How do I get back to where I was? Okay, so I hope you are enjoying your weekend. I intend to enjoy my weekend. And thank you for listening. I have new subscribers. Thank you, new subscribers. Let's see, what is, now I still haven't seen anything from Al-Alaq. It's been a week now where I have not seen any articles, either from Alaq or Samir Nusari. But, if you watch Frank 26, which a lot of people do, Eddie said that he spoke to the people directly. So maybe tomorrow or maybe later today, there'll be an article from them. But I will keep my eyes on the things that I watch. And again, thanks for listening. So if there's a follow, join, subscribe button where you're listening, click that, because I don't post regularly, clearly, right? So when I do update, if technology works as it's supposed to, you'll be notified. But yeah, so enjoy your weekend. I was gonna say, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Until next time.